Here comes the Stony Brook University Seawolf himself, Chris Algieri. A logical question, of course, Roy Jones coming in, was how would Algieri handle all of the pressures involved in the months of build-up, the publicity tour, the weeks of training while preparing for the fight and also doing media appearances, being a part of the promotion, etc. By all outward appearances, he has loved every second of it.
Loved every second of it, and being from New York, which is the Mecca, in New York, if you win the New York State Golden Gloves, that's almost equivalent to winning the National Golden Glove. So if you're boxing in New York, you're gonna see everything, every style, every personality that you possibly could meet throughout the world.
I love him mentoring to Eric B. and Rakim. Don't sweat the technique. He's earned this shot. You mentioned he was the underdog against Emmanuel Taylor, Jim, and Ruslan Provodnikov. Just getting the shot at Provodnikov. No one wants to fight Provodnikov if they don't have to. And then rising up off the deck twice in the first round and winning on points through not only the grit and determination he showed, but the technique to outbox Provodnikov down the stretch with one eye, incidentally. He's earned this shot. He wasn't given it.
So now Algieri's in the ring and awaits the global superstar he's facing tonight, Manny Pacquiao. Earlier this year, Pacquiao was still a question mark in the minds of some boxing reporters as he prepared for his rematch against Timothy Bradley. Some said, well, okay, it's a replay of the first fight, which Pacquiao won anyway. But what did you see in the revenge performance of Manny Pacquiao against Tim Bradley?
I saw harder punching, a little bit more aggressiveness, landed the overhand right more. Tim Bradley hurt his foot, though, which would have really showed us an exceptional fight because that slowed him down some, and Manny continued to his same onslaught as we used to see Manny do when he's in correct form.
Is too much made of the absence of any knockouts in the last 5 years, given the kind of opposition that he's been fighting? Or is that, in fact, an indication that Manny Pacquiao has slipped?
It's too much made of that. This has to do strictly with the opponents, and he better be careful tonight that he doesn't come in looking too much for a knockout against Chris Algieri, because that could definitely play in Chris Algieri's hands.
Freddie Roach has been talking knockout. Freddie Roach talks knockout before every fight. Freddie Roach at one point predicted a first-round knockout, eventually revised that to, okay, well, maybe sometime in the first 3 rounds. Max, I agree with Roy Jones. Thinking knockout could be a trap here.
Well, Manny is such a humble guy and so nice to his opponents that Freddie oftentimes has to pick up the slack in terms of the amount of trash talking, or in Freddie's case, he would say truth-telling, in the promotion of a fight, in the build-up of a fight. But it's no mystery that Freddie Roach likes knockouts. He was an offensive-minded fighter. He's an offensive-minded trainer. And he liked it much better, as did the fans, when Pacquiao was blitzkrieging divisions rather than outpointing guys.
He's always entertained by his own walk-ins. He always plays to the crowd. He always has the giant smile on his face. Again, as comfortable as any public figure you'll ever cover. One final note. Overall, the Manny Pacquiao life remains as complicated as any on the planet, and certainly more complicated than any other fighter in boxing. He flew more than 300 fans, friends, followers, family members to this fight on 2 separate private planes, and Freddie Roach publicly said, it's too big a distraction. It bothers me. I feel he feeds off of it, Roy.
I feel the same way. I think he feeds off of it. The fans feed off of it. The fans love him, and it's so to a point that if he lost, my 6-year-old son would probably have to be hospitalized.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Cotai Arena here at the Venetian Macau Hotel Resort, the moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. This is the main event. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Welterweight Championship of the World. And it's all brought to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, MP Promotions with Foreman Boys Promotions, and Joe DeGuardia Star Boxing and Art Bolulo's Banner Promotions. Sponsored by Tecate con Carácter and Empire. Coming to Fox in January 2015, when you mix music, family, and power, the battle begins. Don't miss Empire on Fox. And Viber, spelled with a V, Viber, for official messaging, calling app, and the ringtone of the fight. Follow us on Viber. This bout sanctioned by the PBCC Executive Director Leon P. Panicillo Jr. and the World Boxing Organization President Francisco Paco Barcarcel, Supervisor at ringside Luis Perez. The 3 judges scoring on the 10 points must system will be Levi Martinez, Patrick Morley, and Michael Pernick. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, your World Championship veteran referee, Gino Rodriguez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the officials are ready, the fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance here at the Venetian Macau, and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner with his trainer Tim Lane, wearing blue with red and white trim. Official weight, 143.6 pounds. A perfect professional record consisting of 20 fights, 20 victories, including 8 wins by knockout. Today, he moves up to the welterweight division as the challenger from Green Lawn, Long Island, New York, USA, the pride of Stony Brook University, and the WBO light welterweight champion of the world, the fighting collegian, Chris And fighting out of the red corner with his trainer, Freddie Roach, wearing light blue and officially weighing in at 143.8 pounds. His Hall of Fame credentials, 56 victories, including 38 knockouts, 5 defeats, and 2 draws, with 8 world titles. From Sarangani Province, Philippines, the 8-time world champion, the reigning, defending WBO welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, gentlemen, you were given specific instructions. Obey my commands a little time. We'll take this a little time. First of all, good luck.
Manny Pacquiao said if he doesn't want to punch, I will create an action. If he does punch, I'll counter. Chris Algieri When I asked him where does that refusal to quit come from, he showed in the Provodnikov fight, said, I question where the quit comes from in the other guy.
Throughout his training camp, Chris Algieri said a huge part of the focus, because of his inexperience, because of the newness of this for him, a huge part of his focus was the mentality of round one. One day, he sparred round one 12 times, just to get himself familiar with the way he wanted to think and move in this first round against Manny Pacquiao.
The important thing for Chris right now is to figure out and deal with the speed and the angles that Manny Pacquiao's punches come from.
Straight
like
left
that.
hand up the middle. Another element, of course, of focusing on round one here is what happened in the first round against Provodnikov, which was a disaster, but a disaster from which he built a fire. Good right hook by Pacquiao. Momentarily wobbled Algieri.
I think it was more off balance, Jim. I don't think that really wobbled him.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Algieri's scientific approach to the fight game can be seen in what he said about how he negates or plans to negate Pacquiao's speed. He said speed is time over distance, and I'm going to use my length to fight at a greater distance and thereby reduce his speed.
Already, Algieri knows that Pacquiao can deal with his speed more effectively than Ruslan Provodnikov can. Pacquiao has cut off the ring twice on him and landed shots both times. Algieri almost got trapped in a corner. Side-to-side movement, a big part of his game.
The bad thing about Pacquiao here is he's willing to take one of Chris Algieri's big shots to land his own. And we'll have to see if Chris Algieri can muster enough in his big shot to cause Pacquiao any problems.
Well, Algieri's critics would say there's no such thing as a big shot.
Very few fleet-footed boxers without much punching power, with low knockout percentages, have beaten, upended, come out of nowhere to beat a guy like Pacquiao, a once dominant knockout artist. Fewer than many boxing fans realize.
The evidence of round one so far suggests that Manny Pacquiao can find Chris Algieri and that he can land the big shots against him. But never underestimate the resourcefulness of Algieri, who surely will be thinking of trying to find a way to deal with that. Body shot by Pacquiao.
And good straight right lead by Chris Algieri.
It looked like a very good straight right hand from where we were sitting.
I want the same thing, except see his left hand, he's throwing his left. Yeah. And his right hand by his ass, he's throwing a 1-2. Okay. So just check him with the left. You already checked him with the right. Now check him with the left, but do the same thing, baby. He's starting to reach already, Chris.
Chris Algieri, as you see, not noted for his punching power, landed a beautiful straight right lead right here as Pacquiao was coming in. Right down the pipe. Just to give a little respect to let Pacquiao know that you have to be careful when you're on the attack.
Dionysia Pacquiao barely able to watch at ringside. Round two begins. Pacquiao was 11 of 39 by CompuBox count in the first round. Algieri was only 3 of 28. One of the three, that right hand shot that we showed you in the replay.
What Algieri showed with that right hand is he's not a big puncher, but he's a very accurate puncher. And he can snap a guy's head back and create space for himself.
Good shot by Algieri.
Good left hook by Algieri, and
Pacquiao chases and tries to retaliate.
Yeah, and Algieri's left eye is swollen again, and he didn't get knocked down this time. So I'm trying to figure out how to get swollen this time.
Yeah, well, it was the right eye last time. It's the left eye this time. And I'm thinking it was a right hook by Manny Pacquiao. Algieri beginning to work his jab. That was what was missing in round one. Pacquiao begins to counter. Manny Pacquiao looks very fast in the first couple of rounds.
Not only is he very fast, but he also is very focused.
And down goes Algieri on a straight left-hand shot. He's going to say it was a slip, but Gina Rodriguez is going to call it a knockdown.
I agree with Algieri.
That definitely was a slip, and it's water there. That definitely was a slip.
So a bad break for Algieri early. Just as he was down in the first round twice against Provodnikov, he goes down in the second round here.
Big difference, though. He was badly hurt against Provodnikov, and here he was hit as his foot was slipping in the corner.
Lucky break for Pacquiao, but it counts as a knockdown. Algieri's moving, but not sticking enough.
Yeah, but he's very comfortable, Jim. He's not panicking. He's not afraid. He's moving. He's making very smart boxing maneuvers, and he's still in this fight. Until Pacquiao catches him clean, and I see how Pacquiao or how he reacts to Pacquiao's power, then I'll say he's in trouble.
Big difference between this and the Provodnikov fight. It's so much harder for him to land shots against Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's way faster.
Yeah, but Pacquiao hasn't really honestly hit him with a good clean punch yet until right there.
Pacquiao's getting closer and closer to landing something really big and hard. Or so it feels.
That was his first really clean punch right there.
Algieri is boxing well. I mean, this is Manny Pacquiao in front of him. He may not have done enough to win either one of these first two rounds, but he's negated most of what Pacquiao wants to do. It's not easy.
Algieri just missing with the right hand. You've already pointed out, Roy Jones, that Algieri's left eye is beginning to show a little bit of damage. They have brought professional cut man Jacob Stitch Duran with them for this fight. Big addition to their team. They didn't have that element against Provodnikov. They made it through. Tonight they're better equipped. Here's Stitch Duran right there, going to work.
Good work, baby. Good work. Deep breath, deep breath. Hey, Chris. Perfect.
Yep.
Everything is perfect. We got two more like this, okay? Same. Okay, very good. All right.
Here we see Algieri. Manny on the attack. Algieri moving back. And how you know he wasn't hurt? He blocked all his punches. He's fine right there until it touches that big water spot. Not only one foot, both feet slid out from under him. If both feet slid out from under him, and he's very conscious, as he knew not to let Manny hit him, it was a slip.
Clearly a slip, but it was called a knockdown by referee Gina Rodriguez. You saw the disappointment as Algieri's brother was up protesting the knockdown call.
We heard in Algieri's corner 2 more like that. So it's clear they don't want to give Pacquiao any big opportunities early. Algieri can have and has fought in the past at a very high punch output. So the threat of Pacquiao is negating Algieri's offense, but that may be by Camp Algieri's design.
That is by their design. Like I said, he has to get into the fight and get comfortable. He's not the experienced fighter here. He's the guy with the least experience. So he can't come out and throw his whole envelope on the table because paper to paper, he can't match up with Pacquiao.
No, but 4 rounds is a lot to give up on the cards when you're not a knockout artist.
Of course it is, but you're still fighting Manny Pacquiao. And if you go in there within the first 4 rounds and get caught with something that you're not ready for, the fight could end.
Meantime, Pacquiao has failed to create an action if Algieri didn't want to punch, which is what he said he'd do. Algieri is tough to create an action against. He's tall, he's rangy, he has good defense.
Wonderful footwork. Excellent footwork.
One thing about Algieri, the term is negative split. It applies to track and field and swimming, where people are able to build rhythm and do better in the second half of the race than the first half of the race. Algieri in several fights threw more punches in the second half of the fight than in the first half of the fight as he builds rhythm.
And that's his plan right here now. He's landed some really 2 good left hooks against Pacquiao already, and he's really starting to try to test Pacquiao and see can he put his gloves on him in a hard way.
Early in the fight, Pacquiao seemed able to cut off the ring against Algieri. The danger, if you can't cut off the ring, is that you get into chasing him, the way Provodnikov did. If you begin chasing Algieri, he's got you to a certain degree.
And you see the footwork slowed Manny down some, and that way Chris Algieri was able to land a good straight right lead just then.
Algieri's obviously not awed by the moment. And now the trick for him is going to be, as he's starting to box more effectively offensively in this round, is as comfortable as he is to maintain that kind of nervous energy so that he keeps that guard up and keeps that defense tight, even if and when he has increasing offensive success.
Pacquiao landed a jab moments ago. Now gets in a body shot. Going to the body might be a good idea. Algieri blocking the right hand upstairs, keeping his left glove pinned to his cheek. Algieri not able to throw much in this round as he's focusing on defense and trying to disrupt Pacquiao's rhythm. Hard right hand by Manny Pacquiao upstairs. Good quick hook set up by a left hand to the body.
Best right hook for Pacquiao yet in this fight.
And yet it was thrown to land, not thrown with real knockout force. And sometimes you see Pacquiao throw that punch. Algieri's speed and defense is forcing that out of Pacquiao already.
Good, baby. See what's happening? Chris, you see what's happening?
Yep. Aiming that check hook, Chris, at the neck, though. Don't go up tall. Neck. You keep aiming that shot at the neck. Beautiful work.
Open up. Yeah, let's spit this. Breathing, breathing, breathing.
Starting to find a home for this.
Breathing, breathing, breathing. Chris, still in round one. Nothing changes, okay? You're doing beautiful, baby. Everything stays the same. You see how it's slowly unfolding?
Here you see Pacquiao coming in with the left to the body, followed by the right hook over the top to the head. Best right hook I think he's landed all night. Didn't throw with conviction because he has to be moving while he's doing it in order to catch up with Chris.
All night being 3 rounds so far. And we'll check in with Harold Letterman right now to see how he scores it through the first 3.
Okay, Jim, I got a 3-0, 30-26 Manny Pacquiao. He gets an extra point for that knockdown in round 2. Whether it was a slip or a knockdown, Gino Rodriguez called it a knockdown. He gets an extra point. So that becomes a 10-8 round. Jim, I don't know. I honestly believe that Chris Algieri should move his hands a little more. Throw some more punches. There you go. When he throws punches, it seems to me he's got a chance in this fight. When he just runs and covers up, Manny just seems to get to him. I'd love to see Chris get more offensive. But anyway, 3-0, Manny Pacquiao.
I think the plan is for that to happen next round, according to what they're telling him in the corner.
Yeah, the conversation between rounds began with Tim Lane twice saying to Algieri, you see what's happening? You see what's happening? What would you speculate that he's referring to, Roy?
Well, he's trying to figure him out, make him punch while he's moving, let some of the power and some of the steam blow off. If he stops and throws his hands more right now, like Harold suggests, he'll be sitting on the canvas pretty shortly. He's not ready for that yet. Let Pacquiao blow some of this early steam off. In round 5, start boxing, then start taking your chances. Because if you're ever gonna knock him out, let him blow the steam off. You're the least experienced of the 2 guys. Wait till the strong punching power is gone. Let him get into the fight a little bit. Then maybe you have a better chance of catching him. But you see right there,
hand uppercut by Pacquiao.
you see right there, he's not the fighter to deal with Pacquiao.
And Pacquiao is so physically gifted, athletically. And I think also, and you heard him say in the corner at one point, you see him
hard
reaching.
body shots.
So as the rounds go on, they're hoping that Algieri's defense and length will have Pacquiao reaching and offer them better counterpunching opportunities.
That's the whole game plan.
Evidence of this round so far suggests to me that Manny Pacquiao wanted to focus on body shots this round, and he has done damage with body shots to Algieri here.
Well, he's focusing on big shots, Jerry. He's trying to get Algieri out of here. To get him out of here, you got to land big shots. And the way to start that is with the body shots. But you see Algieri is still in big shots himself. He just thrown another good right hand right there.
Pacquiao with a left hand lead. It was clear during the publicity tour they didn't dislike each other. They seemed to enjoy each other's company. Freddie Roach wasn't all thrilled with that. He said in the New Yorker magazine, yeah, he may get along with him. I don't want him to.
Everyone gets along with Manny Pacquiao.
How
Impossible not to. Exactly right. As Roy and I talk over, hard left hand by Pacquiao. Algieri has taken some punishment in this round.
But he hasn't been down yet, Jim, so that's a good thing for him.
Hard right hand by Algieri. That right hand lead is landing fairly frequently for Chris Algieri when he chooses to throw it.
Okay, you're cutting the ring out very nice. Chris, he's disconnecting a little more each round, okay? See his checks. Now this time, when you spin him on the rope, pop him, go to the body, come up.
He see Pacquiao throw an overhand left followed by a beautiful right uppercut because Chris has his arms out over his shoulders, not having his hands up. Unfortunately for Pacquiao, it landed in the throat, not on the chin. Then Pacquiao lands that beautiful straight left lead, catches Chris Algieri going straight back and lands that straight left right down the pipe.
No fun to get hit in the throat. Maybe not as bad as getting hit on the chin, but disorienting to say the least.
Now here's the round they want Algieri to assert himself more, and he comes out with a good long jab. That should be the key weapon for Algieri. Hasn't shown it a whole lot so far, but if he gets that jab on track, that probably means things are starting to go better for him.
And suddenly he begins letting his hands go. This is a guy who has thrown as many as 82 jabs in a single round. And there's a right cross perfect on the chin of Manny Pacquiao. Didn't move Manny at all.
Didn't move Manny, but that was a beautiful right hand, one that Manny does not want to continue to walk into.
First 30 seconds of this round belong to Algieri with the jab and the right hand.
And the crowd's oohing and ahhing, but Pacquiao's not landing.
No, he's not. It's because of the footwork of Algieri.
They touch gloves again.
What would wind up very discouraging for Algieri is if, having followed his game plan more or less so far, this is the round he's supposed to take over in their minds, and he starts the round off like this. What happens if Pacquiao starts to dominate over the second half of the round or starts to find success?
And is able to counter with big shots like that.
A pivotal round in the fight.
Another couple of right hands land for Algieri. They're not big, but he's getting his leather onto Pacquiao's chin with that right hand.
And he's not concerned in landing nothing big because he only has a few knockouts anyway. Great body shot. His job is to just put punches on Pacquiao like that.
And a straight right hand and a left hook.
That's their game plan. Just hit Pacquiao as often as they can. Hopefully they'll wear him down without Chris getting caught with a big shot, and maybe he can knock him out.
He's gotten hit here, but it's been a whole different kind of round for Chris Algieri as he's finally unlocked the bolt to his offense and is throwing the jab with frequency, which is the name of the game for him. Algieri's footwork keeping him safe there against Pacquiao's big shots.
Superb footwork, and you notice that he's going to the body a lot. And I can guarantee you now, looking at Chris Algieri, his plan is as follows. Keep hitting Pacquiao with the straight right to the body as often as he can. Go for the overhand right like Marquez did and try to knock him out.
Meantime, Pacquiao looks determined, and maybe this was Team Algieri's plan, but Pacquiao, when he gets boxed and hit, looks determined to start walking Algieri down, but as a result, sometimes just walks forward into more shots.
Right into the shots, and that's got to be Algieri's camp's whole game plan. Frustrate him, make him run into a shot, and try to knock him out.
So that had to be an encouraging round for Algieri because he seems to have won it as planned.
Yo, wait, fucking check up, Chris. That's fucking air nice and tight to your face. Shoulders back, beautiful.
Spin that. Good. Want some water on your head, Chris?
Yep.
There you go.
Good. You spin him off these ropes like you want now, Chris. Fucking tag him a little bit.
Yeah.
Got his ass on the ropes.
Breathe.
Don't let him just off anymore.
Breathe.
Here we see Algieri doing, like I said earlier, landing that straight right hand down the pipe, right off of Manny's jab. bam, as Manny's coming in. Not a killer punch, but you saw it stop Manny's left hand from coming out, which saves Chris Algieri because now he doesn't get caught with that big left hand.
Straight right hand against the southpaw.
Yep.
Come on, sit back, sit back, sit back.
Round 6 begins in what became something of a different fight in round 5. Harold Letterman still scored the round for Manny Pacquiao. I don't think it was necessarily an easy round to score. Wouldn't surprise me if a judge had Chris Algieri winning that round. Obviously, Max Kellerman thought that Algieri won the round, right, Max?
I did, yeah. But many judges won't give you the round if you're the guy moving away and the other guy's active with his hands. I just didn't see Pacquiao land clean shots, and I saw Algieri land some clean shots.
Manny got in a left hand to the side of Algieri's face there. Algieri goes back to pumping the jab. He was reluctant to throw the jab in the first 4 rounds. Now it's changed. Again, a guy who at one time in his career threw 82 jabs in a single round. In the first 4 rounds of the fight, CompuBox found Manny Pacquiao throwing 100 more punches than Chris Algieri. The profile coming in was that Pacquiao was not the volume puncher, Algieri was. But Pacquiao's power changed that equation early on.
And what makes Pacquiao deadly is that he is actually a volume puncher. He's just a volume power puncher. So that makes him more dangerous than normal guys are. That's the biggest thing about him, is that he throws volume punches, and he's a big-time volume power puncher.
Now, Gina Rodriguez is telling Chris Algieri to keep the right-hand body shot up. It was right on the belt line.
Didn't look low to me, but...
And the belt line is above the navel. Therefore, that should be a legal shot.
Hard left hand by Pacquiao stuns Algieri. And that's going to be the second knockdown of the fight. Algieri's going to say he threw me down, he didn't knock me down, but the bottom line is it counts as a knockdown. And let's see if Algieri's still hurt.
Algieri nodded his head like, yeah, he got me.
Yeah, he hit him first, and he bumped him, but he did hit him first, so that is a legitimate knockdown, I think.
Extended right hand by Algieri momentarily backs Pacquiao, but he keeps coming. Fires away with the left hand. Algieri goes down for the second time. Third time in the fight, and once again there's water in that corner, and his foot slipped out from under him, and he can't get Rodriguez to listen to him on that point.
No, he should stay out of that corner.
Yep, stay out of that corner.
No question the water was at least partially a factor in that knockdown, but Manny's knocked him down twice in this round. Pacquiao power showing up big time here in round 6. 2 knockdowns of Algieri in this round. 3 official knockdowns now in the fight.
There's the danger when you get more offensive with Manny Pacquiao.
Chris, we good. It's not going to...
Very good. He see the first knockdown. That left hand did hurt Chris Algieri. Pacquiao went on the attack, but that did hurt. Another left hand, he really was pushed down at this point. He was off balance, but the punches did land first to hurt him, and that's why I would give him legitimate credit for that knockdown. That was a knockdown. This second knockdown, he's just moving away in the corner. He got caught with a jab, but he threw a hook of his own. But as you saw, as he was trying to hook, his foot was sliding out from under him again. That one was questionable, but because of the jab landing to the face, you can understand the ref saying, okay.
I'll give Pacquiao 1.5 real knockdowns so far in this fight.
Then I was
ready for 3.
Yeah.
Now Chris Algieri may be in a compromising situation. Because of the knockdowns, now he has to change his style and either try to start winning the fight earlier or start trying to go for the knockout because of those knockdowns being 1.5, as Max and I agree.
Now with the smell of a knockout in the air, it's commentary dangerous to take a break for the score, but we're going to do it. Harold, how do you have it so far?
I want to tell you, these guys kill me. 1.5 knockdowns? Give me a break. Anyway, I got it 6-0, 60-51 Manny Pacquiao. He gets an extra point for each of those knockdowns. So round 6 becomes a 10-7 round. I mean, he's got a whopping 9-point lead. Chris is... I tell you, I think he's just got to slow down a little and stand there and bang with Manny a little, because he's been boxing, he's been moving. I don't think he's won around because he hasn't hit Manny hard enough. I think he's got to change his game plan and stand there and use his quick hands. 6-0, Manny Pacquiao.
That's why low knockout percentage fighters don't generally come out of nowhere to beat guys like Manny Pacquiao, because they're one-dimensional. Even if they're multi-dimensional within that dimension, their boxing dimension. What do they do if they fall way behind on the cards?
When Max refers to low knockout percentage, Algieri had only 8 KOs in 20 fights coming in. By the current standard of the sport, that is a way low knockout percentage. He's just not that kind of fighter.
Back in that corner again, they put up for it.
Algieri seemed to realize he was backing toward the wet corner. Got himself out of there in a hurry.
Algieri's not giving Pacquiao anything to worry about on his way in. He can sting him with a shot. He can snap his head back and make him take a backward step or a half step back, but Manny obviously doesn't feel like he's in danger of being hurt by the shot.
It's the difference between punching at the target and punching powerfully through the target, the way Pacquiao does.
There's a good hard body shot.
He's landed a couple of those this round, Max.
Right hand body shots and straight right hands upstairs. Those have been the 2 areas of occasional success for Chris Algieri. There have been many more for Manny Pacquiao.
Good, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath.
Throw in your right hands, Chris. Don't let that back leg fall forward, buddy. All right? Don't allow yourself to get squared up on those right hands, okay?
Yep. Chris, this is where we dreamed of being. This is where we want to be. Chris, this guy is getting tired. You see everything. You unloaded a little bit more that round, okay? Now this round, you can do the same thing. He's going to reach. When he reaches, you check his ass. Okay. All right? Deep breath. If you see the ropes, Chris, look, see the ropes. Okay? See the ropes. Okay. See the ropes. Put them on the rope a little bit. Bang, 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 then move back out. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe.
Don't allow that back.
Well, you can tell the plan isn't working to their satisfaction now as Tim Lane begins to unload a little bit of the Teddy Atlas toolbox. Chris, this is where you wanted to be. This is what you wanted. Trying to remind them of the mindset of confidence that they built coming into the fight. A fight in which so far, as you see on his unofficial scorecard, Harold Letterman has given every round to Manny Pacquiao.
When your strategy is to essentially give away the first 4 rounds, and you're not a big puncher, you have to be perfect the rest of the way. And that obviously hasn't happened for Algieri.
If that was really the plan, it has me thinking, what were they thinking? Seriously, give away the first 4 rounds against the guy who has knockout power when you don't?
Well, I'm sure in their minds it wasn't give it away. It was box a little differently and a little more patiently and cautiously. But how is he expecting to win those rounds against a high-volume power puncher?
As a fighter, anytime you have seen a guy get knocked out before, you think in 8-ounce gloves, there's always a chance, even though you're not a puncher, that you can either catch him coming in, run him into a big enough shot, and possibly get lucky and get a knockout. That's just the consensus of a real pro fighter. So Chris Algieri felt like he's been out before. Maybe I can give him 4 rounds, set him up so I can put these 8-ounce on him, and it's possible I can knock him out. But if I try to come out and box him early or try to knock him out early, he may knock me out.
I think it's a bad plan.
It is a bad plan, but that's the only plan he could have. This is Manny Pacquiao we're talking about.
I know. I liked what he said, though, when he was talking about, you know, I think with my length and my jab, I can disrupt his rhythm. That sounded to me like the only thing that could have worked. And they seem to have dispensed with that too early. Hard left hand by Pacquiao. Chris Algieri turns to Gina Rodriguez as if to say, hey, I hit him on the belt line. You warned me about hitting the low. He hits me there and you don't say a thing. What's up?
This is Michael Jordan, the AC Green.
Quick left hook by Algieri. Manny Pacquiao countering 1, 2, 3.
I know against the southpaw sometimes you can throw that lead right almost like a jab, but it's Algieri's best punch is that good long jab, and he just has shelved it for way too much of this fight.
Roy Jones complimented early the great footwork of Chris Algieri. Manny Pacquiao's footwork is unreal.
It's exceptional.
His ability to get from one side to another and create punching angles, unmatched.
Up.
Want some more? Yeah. Okay, Chris, you're doing beautiful now. We're gonna put a little bit more punches together.
Dionysia Pacquiao during the last round, doing a little shadow boxing, a little praying, some histrionics thrown in. She's as good a show as there is at ringside. Round 9 begins. Hasn't been a single clinch. Gina Rodriguez has had nothing to do other than to score knockdowns and warn people for low blows. No clinching in the fight. This round, Algieri up on his toes and trying to work his jab. Gets hit by another big shot from Pacquiao. Algieri lands his right across the top. Let's go to the corner of Chris Algieri, where Max Kellerman is ready to talk to Tim Lane about the game plan and what's happening now. Max?
Tim, we're talking a lot about the game plan in the corner. We heard you after 2 rounds tell him 2 more of those. And then what was the game plan coming in?
Keep the distance. Keep the distance. Jab on him, let him get tired. He's getting tired, he's reaching.
Was there an idea that after 4 rounds something changes?
Yep.
What was going to change?
I'll tell you after. He's gonna put him to sleep here in a few minutes. I'm gonna let him go. I'm gonna let him go in 1 more round. I got him in the cage right now. Let him out the cage.
The plan is to have Algieri knock Pacquiao out.
Yes, but I still got him in the cage. He listens to me very well. I'm gonna let him loose in another round or so.
Round 10?
Round 10 or 11, I'm gonna let him go.
Well, that's going to make it difficult for the plan to materialize, because there's a question now as to whether Algieri will be able to survive that shot, which was a monster left hand, a sensational straight left cross by Manny Pacquiao that put Algieri on his back. And let's see what Algieri has left.
He doesn't have much left, Jerry, and that hurts more because he's already
takes a knee. That's an Algieri method. Take the knee to try to clear his head. So these are knockdowns number 4 and 5.
7.
No, 5 and 6.
Come here, Chris. Okay, Chris. Okay? All right, let's go.
6 knockdowns in the fight so far for Pacquiao.
Algieri better hold or the fight's over. There he is.
Held for a little while, couldn't hold on long enough.
It's Pacquiao who's out of his cage.
Yeah.
He's still fighting though.
Algieri showing guts.
Big guts.
Pacquiao in control.
Big guts. Huge guts. And I hope the referee don't jump in too soon. Let Pacquiao finish him at least. Because if he doesn't, he jumps in too soon, he'll ruin a good fight.
Well, I don't want to be derisive or sarcastic, but after what Tim Lane said, we all want to see the 10th round, right?
It's amazing that Algieri is going to see the 10th round.
Deep breath, Chris. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath, baby. Deep breath. I want you to listen to me, Chris, while you're breathing. I want you to listen to me. Okay. We are exactly where we need to be. I know you trust me.
He's here, beautiful straight left hand by Manny Pacquiao. Right down the pipe off of Chris Algieri's jab, and down Chris Algieri goes. That was a beautiful straight left hand. Couldn't ask for better. Chris tried to time it with the hook, and the left hand landed right on the chin before Chris's hook could get there. Here you see Pacquiao putting the pressure on Algieri, knowing he's in trouble. Gets caught with 2 punches, dips down to try to just take a knee for the 8 count.
And staying in character all the way. You heard Tim Lane say, Chris, we're right where we want to be. That may be the case, but they are 6 knockdowns behind so far. And according to our unofficial scorer, Chris Algieri has lost every round on top of that. And Harold, I mean, this score will be astronomical now. What is it?
I've got him ahead by 14 points. I got it 90-76, 9 rounds to nothing, Manny Pacquiao. Jim, I sort of disagree with the 6 knockdowns. I think he only scored 5.
That's right. I miscounted. You're exactly right.
But Manny Pacquiao on the offensive right here. 9-0 Pacquiao so far.
And meantime, a knockout win for Pacquiao would be a big deal here. Not only because he hasn't scored 1 in 8 fights, but because Algieri, as Ruslan Pravandikov, a knockout artist, can tell you, is very hard to knock out.
Algieri has a 4-inch height advantage. He came into the ring with what we judged by our scale to be a 6-pound weight advantage. He's a longer, more defensively oriented counterpuncher. Not everybody thought that Pacquiao was going to be able to step forward and get the knockout. Freddie Roach said all along it would happen. On the other hand, Freddie Roach didn't think that Pacquiao would have to go to the 10th round to do it. But it's been entertaining to watch the build-up.
And on the other hand, here Algieri still is.
Like I said earlier, it's crazy, and I know it was ironic and crazy, but I knew that his team was planning to try to knock Pacquiao out.
You turned out to be 100% correct. And my mind is blown.
But I told you, as a boxer, and from a boxer standpoint, that's the only chance he saw. He has less experience than Pacquiao. You don't outpoint Pacquiao, so his only gamble was to try to knock him out.
Learn something new every day.
And what has happened here, in a sense, is kind of like what Max says. The separation in class is starting to show up.
Yeah, class tells over time.
Well, some would say it showed up in round 2.
And by the way, what does that say about Pacquiao, where class has told over time against Tim Bradley, now against Algieri?
Harold, there's the 6th knockdown. I got you.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come on forward. You all right, Chris? Good. Yeah. All right, box.
At this stage in Pacquiao's career.
The Algieri family not so happy. Dionysia Pacquiao is dancing in the aisles.
Deep breath, baby. Deep breath, baby.
Throwing your twos, Chris, you gotta bring everything back. Stay square, baby. Stay square, Chris. You gotta bring the shit back and get back on that jab when you throw your hooks behind them. Not just that one right hand and stay in square for them both. Come on. Come on, baby.
Okay, Chris, you ready for round 2?
Yep.
Okay, listen, round 2. I'm letting you out the cage now. I want you to creep.
Here you see Pacquiao coming forward, lands a beautiful straight left hand high on the neck of Algieri, followed by a beautiful right hook, which I think the right hook did more damage. Then he kind of caught him with a forearm, but Algieri was already headed down. Legs are tired. Fatigue is showing up. Not so much as devastating from the one punches, but devastation from the fact of that punch and fatigue with it. That right hook was a great shot right on the chin.
Accumulation of punishment. And Algieri comes back for the 11th round.
Algieri said that he wonders where the quit comes from in the other guy. He doesn't think about quitting, and he's had 6 different chances in this fight been on the canvas.
And he's about to get another one if he keeps that head high like that.
Telling him in the corner, you can get out of the cage now. Not sure he wants to.
It's like turning a wolf out of the cage in the bear pen.
Exactly.
The day the fight was announced, some critics on the web said odds should be 50-1. Odds should be 20-1. There were other outrageous numbers floated around. As of a couple days ago, the last time I checked, betting odds were about 7-1.
I saw as low as 6-1. So they kept dropping.
Went back up apparently in the last few hours as bettors here got in their money on Pacquiao.
Smart money.
Smart Pacquiao. He has fought a perfect fight for his purposes.
An exceptional fight, Jim. And I tell you, you knew he was focused. Yesterday, I heard his manager after they came by and spoke to me, and Michael Kahn said, "Yeah, the guy right there, we might, if he looks good tomorrow night, we might look at him down the line." And if you would have seen the look that Pacquiao gave Jesse Vargas, it almost had me in shock. I was like, wait a minute, Pacquiao, he's not talking about now, he's talking about later. But Jesse wasn't looking, and had Jesse been looking, we probably would have had to separate him.
Wow.
That's how focused Manny is.
Well, Freddie Roach has said that he wants Pacquiao back down at 140 pounds, where your fighter Jesse Vargas fights, by May of 2015. And forever thereafter. In Roach's mind, the days of fighting as a welterweight are over after this. This, of course, assumes that there's never to be a Floyd Mayweather fight. If that were to somehow materialize, then the going back to 140 falls by the wayside.
I mean, if guys like Bradley and Algieri can't compete with you, then the only boxer, pure boxer who makes sense is Mayweather, in addition to all the other reasons that people want to see that fight.
Deep breath, baby, deep breath.
This is the last round, Chris. Last round, baby.
Breathe and breathe.
Throwing those twos again. Let that hook come right back, man. Hooks for your thighs, the uppercuts, they're there. Throw, just don't let that right hand stay square.
Chris, why don't you look at me? We got one more round. I want you to creep on him, step around him, and give me that body shot and that uppercut and hook, okay? The 6 is open for you, okay? I want you to creep on him here and stay on his ass. We got one more round. You're in shape. Champion lifestyle. Chris Algieri show. Stay on him this round. I want...
Let's go. Easy, let's go.
3 minutes to go.
This is final round.
Manny flashes Chris Algieri that spectacular Hollywood smile as he gets ready to try to knock him out one more time.
And I think they just had a small clash of heads.
There's a swelling just under the left eye of Manny Pacquiao. Almost imperceptible, but it's there. Perhaps a tiny compliment to Chris Algieri's right-hand leads earlier in the fight. There have been 6 knockdowns, and Pacquiao has looked at times spectacular. So I don't think the narrative is going to be, oh, he didn't get a knockout, if in fact Algieri somehow makes the final bell. More likely the narrative is going to be Pacquiao's power was largely back.
Looks that way to me.
Good uppercut by Pacquiao and a hard right hand by Algieri. Pacquiao took Algieri's hard right hand in such a way as to once again suggest that the knockout strategy was a faint wish. There's another hard right hand by Algieri. Pacquiao's a little bit more open in this round as he drops his hands and tries for a knockout. Now Pacquiao's got his guard back up and comes out of it looking to land again. Algieri moving and moving.
The hard thing about it for Chris Algieri is Pacquiao's movement is just as effective as Algieri's movement. So when Algieri goes to attack Pacquiao, Pacquiao makes the same moves or same type of moves that Algieri makes when Pacquiao attacks him. So it makes it just as difficult for him to hit Pacquiao as it is for Pacquiao to hit him.
The distance between this and fighting somebody like Ruslan Provodnikov is about the same as the distance walking from here to Siberia. It's a long, long way. "30 seconds to go. There are no moral victories. Finishing the fight isn't going to do all that much for Algieri's reputation, particularly since he's been down 6 times. The academic discussion of whether the water in the corner figured into 2 of the first 3 knockdowns probably won't mean much after this. A lot of power, a lot of Pacquiao. So Manny Pacquiao scores 6 official knockdowns of Chris Algieri en route to what will almost certainly be a nearly historically lopsided unanimous decision win. And let's take a look at what happened mostly to Chris Algieri in the fight. Round 2. Round 2. Algieri was under wraps and still trying to box at this point. It was ruled a knockdown, even though to our eyes it appeared that the slip on the water was at least as much a factor as the punches that Pacquiao landed. Then round 4. Pacquiao lands an uppercut to the throat. Round 6. Here comes knockdown number 2. And still in round 6, knockdown number 3, and another knockdown on which the water in Pacquiao's corner was at least a partial factor, as Algieri tried to point out to referee Gennaro Rodriguez. Round 9, no question about that. That is a classic I hit you in the mouth knockdown. Still in round 9. And Algieri, still damaged from the preceding knockdown, took a knee there. So that was 5 knockdowns at that point. And then the final knockdown came in the 10th round at just about the moment when Tim Lane was telling Max Kellerman that the strategy was going to be for Algieri to knock Pacquiao out in the next round. And now Dionysia Pacquiao conducts some kind of ceremony over her son as Manny Pacquiao kneels in the corner to pray. And we'll go to Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Venetian Macau Hotel Resort, we go to the scorecards. Levi Martinez scores it 119-103. Patrick Morley has the same score, 119-103. And Michael Pernick scores it 120-102. All three judges scored for the winner by unanimous decision. And still WBO welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pacquiao.
So if you said to yourself, well, Algieri's boxing style is going to be a problem for Pacquiao, I think he'll win, but he won't knock him out, and you bet the unanimous decision, you're an incredibly lucky person right now. You weren't figuring on the 6 knockdowns. But Algieri survives to the final bell anyway. CompuBox numbers. And we'll see the degree to which Manny Pacquiao dominated Algieri here. Landing 121 more punches, throwing exactly 200 more punches over the course of 12 rounds, landing at a significantly higher connect percentage. Power shots. Pacquiao lands 107 more, and they were much more powerful, throwing nearly twice as many, and connecting at a 46% connect percentage. Even against a defensively oriented fighter with foot speed and height, Pacquiao lands 46% of his power punches. Some of that was constructed by going into the body early. Second and third rounds, he got to Algieri's body and managed to begin setting up big shots upstairs. And what Dionysia did for Manny, she's now doing for the ringside photographers and everybody in the seats at ringside. Sellout crowd here in the arena on the Cotai Strip, and now Max Kellerman stands by in the ring. Max.
Congratulations, Manny. Let me ask you, how did you do tonight?
Tonight, I did my best.
And we've seen that your best is good enough now to beat Tim Bradley and Chris Algieri. Were you satisfied with your performance?
Of course, I'm satisfied with my performance tonight. I came to fight. You know, I did my best, and I think that's enough.
You scored 6 official knockdowns anyway, a bigger display of power than we've seen in recent fights. Why is that?
We improve our strength. We do more heavy bag in training, and we start early in our training camp. So that's why I'm very confident to win the fight, and I'm in shape.
I think it was the 9th round when you knocked him down and badly hurt him. At that point, were you looking to finish the fight with a knockout? It's been a while since you've had one.
Yes, I'm trying to, I'm looking for a knockout, but, fast, it's moving, so it's hard to get careless and overconfident.
We were talking about the large entourage that you brought with you here this time, and how you're a fighter who seems to be able to still perform even when there are lots of distractions. Why is that, Manny?
I'm so happy because there's a lot of Filipino people came here tonight and watched the fight, and I know, especially to my bunch of family, members of the family, a lot, and my kids is here. So I'm very happy because God gave me this victory tonight, and He strengthened me and He protect me all the time. So in Jesus' name, I'm victorious tonight. So thank you so much for the support of all the fans around the world.
You told me before the fight that you're not slowing down and you're going to continue fighting for the foreseeable future. But the fight that everyone's been talking about again, which seems to happen every time before you fight, is you and Floyd Mayweather. What are your thoughts about that fight right now?
He's going to fight me? Yes, yes. Yes, I mean, well, I think I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight next year for him.
Thanks, Manny.
Thank you so much.
Manny.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Good fight. Thank you. Coach, thank you. Thank you.
Chris, you came in very confident. You guys seemed to have a plan going early when you were not very active in those first 4 rounds. What was the plan?
The plan was to fight 4 first rounds. You know, because I knew he was going to come on strong. You know, I had a feeling that he was going to try and blast me out of there just because I'm not used to the big stage. You know, but Manny is the best in the world at fighting like Manny Pacquiao. You know, and that's really what it is. You know, his start and stop is great. His style, he's got so much experience, and he's perfected fighting like Manny Pacquiao. And was your plan actually to come in and keep it contained and then knock Manny Pacquiao out? You have 8 knockouts in 20 fights. The plan was, you know, to you know, like I said, get into the later rounds there without, you know, incurring too much damage and setting up the pace and land shots that would hurt him. If the knockout came, it came. We weren't specifically looking for the knockout, but we were looking to put some damage on the guy. You know, just because I don't have a lot of knockouts doesn't mean I can't hurt the guys in there. I've hurt every fighter I've ever fought. So, you know, it was just, you know, to put enough hurt on him that we could, you know, slow his pace. You believe you hurt Manny tonight? I think I caught him with a few shots that made him think. You know, in that last round, I know his corner was imploring him to really turn it on. And I don't care what anybody says. Manny is not letting guys slide. He's in there throwing bombs, and he's trying to get everybody out of there every single round. He was just being cautious because I did clip him with a few counter shots on the way in. It was the 8th or 9th round where he seemed to actually really hurt you with a knockdown. Yeah. What in those early, a couple of those knockdowns clearly weren't real, but some of them were. How badly were you hurt and when? The only one that was I think a legitimate knockdown was when we traded the left hooks. I thought I was having my best round of the fight at that point, and I sat down on a left hook. And I mean, what veterans are great at doing is finding little holes in defense, you know, and he caught me with a great shot as we were trading left hooks. And that was really the only shot that hurt me, that put me flat on my back. But I had my legs pretty good, you know, when I got up. And I knew he was going to come and bring a serious onslaught and probably slow down the next round some, you know, which he did, which allowed me to get my footing and get back out there and look for some work. Finally, we're all very interested in where Pacquiao is now at this point in his career, especially when it comes to his punching power at this stage in his career. What was it like? It's not so much the punching power, tell you the truth. It's how he mixes the punches up. Manny is the best in the world at fighting like Manny Pacquiao. He has a very, very distinct and unique style that he has perfected for what works specifically for his body type and his style and what works for him. He's very good at being Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao's a hell of a fighter. He is. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Jim?